Good afternoon. Welcome to the match between Great Britain and Canada, the Tri-Nations Tournament in Birmingham, Alabama at the Lakeshore Foundation. Brought to you by Coloplast and Comfort Medical. This is Gary Pate together with
Chris Hall here.
These teams have split their
Last
their prior two games.
prior two games, yeah.
It kind of runs together a little bit, but they've played twice. Canada won the first game. GB won the second game. Want to take a second before the game begins and our commentary really begins to give a shout out to Bob Luhano.
Happy birthday,
Paralympian
Bob.
Bob Luhano, rugby player par excellence, former president of the association.
Author.
It's his birthday. He's 112 and has been playing rugby for nearly that entire time.
Almost 1,000 years. Yep.
I want to say hi to Bob and wish him the best. Also, on a sad note, I want to make a comment. We received a text this afternoon from the coach of the Sweden team letting us know that one of the premier players that plays for Sweden has passed away unexpectedly, Alfredo Alvarez. He'd been on the team for a long time. He went to multiple world championships and Paralympics. He won several European gold medals, was generally regarded as the kind of the heart and soul of that team, and also genuinely a good guy. Just a great competitor, a good guy. His teammate and his family and his friends, we send our best to them.
For sure, definitely.
Send them blessings and much love at this time. So it's always sad to hear of that. There are the passings that occur in this sport and creates holes.
We like to keep them in our thoughts and remember them for sure. We're about 2 minutes away from start of the game here.
So, Chris, tell me what's going to happen in this game. First, let me say this. We know if Canada wins this game,
they will secure their spot.
Then Canada secures the spot in the championship game, and GB and USA will play the
play-in game. Yes.
On the other hand, if GB wins,
we come back to points again.
We may come back then to the point situation.
Right.
And GB has a commanding lead. And, of course, if they win, then they'll even increase their point lead.
Right.
So a win by GB, I would assume, will secure their spot.
It could come down to the game tonight between GB and US, yes, whether GB wins that game as well.
So there are several interesting variations that could occur right now.
I'm not very good at algebra, so I'll leave that up to you. But
well, how are you at division and multiplication?
As long as the numbers aren't too big, I'm okay. Keep it under 10, we're fine. I can count on my fingers and toes, we're all right.
Well, I have some extra fingers and toes if you need them. We're about a minute away from the tip-off. It looks like Canada will be starting Zach Bedell, Cody Caldwell,
Travis Morale,
and Melanie LaBelle.
This was the line that really, really worked USA offensively and defensively last game.
It was a strong line.
Once Caldwell and Morale really got on the same page, they were doing some impressive things, picking and rolling. Because Zach Bedell was taking the double, and those guys were having to do the work with the ball.
We never awarded player of the game, but I think we agreed that they were a co-player of the game for Canada.
Morale and Caldwell.
Yeah, it was first time of co-winners, but...
Jump ball here, won by Medell, chased down by Morale. Stu Robinson on his tail.
So it will be Great Britain's possession era.
Morale looking for help. Gets turned.
He's trapped in the corner. Nice pass over to Caldwell for the try. Canada takes the early lead, 1-0 at 7:45.
Starting lineup for Great Britain, Stu Robinson, Jamie Steed,
Gavin Walker,
and Kylie Grimes.
What a nice lineup for GB. Good, solid lineup there.
Lots of experience.
1-1. Steed with the try.
And a really great farmer's tan from Jamie Steed.
Well, when I think of farmers, I think of Jamie Steed.
Yeah, I do too. Morale looking for help. Finds LaBelle with a pick.
Beautiful pick by LaBelle. Steed was not
Morale
going anywhere. Morale over to Medell for the try. GB is in white and is home on the scoreboard. Canada in red is the guest or visitor. Ball ahead to Steed.
Steed back to Stu Robinson. Robinson looking for Grimes to seal that corner.
Over to Steed with a try. 2-2. 2-2.
Looks like GB was running a low deny there, trying to force the ball in underneath. They're successful with that, but Morale has acres of space. Caldwell waiting for the try. 2-2 or 3-2 at 6:50.
You know what Canada showed us last game, even if you contain, I don't think you could ever shut down, but you contain Zach. Caldwell and Morale was so dynamic together.
Especially when they have Mel out there setting picks for them.
Yep.
Steed turns on the speed for the try.
Steed with the speed. 3-3, 6:42.
I do like alliteration. Ball's into Medell. Somebody's got a flat and they're calling it. And it's Gavin Walker. Cody Caldwell and Jonathan Williams can't decide who wants to catch the ball over here on the sideline. Steed or Walker ready to go.
So we have Jonathan Williams as the head ref and Josh Kearns on the court with him.
Medell attacking against the key. Running a set play here with Morale and Caldwell posting. LaBelle makes enough space for Medell in the corner.
LaBelle with the pick, blocked that corner off.
Man, just does her job so well.
Yeah, that hole was so good, I think I could have scored there.
I might have. Steed looking for help, has Walker helping. Cross half court.
Steed's got two on him at the top. And
Travis Morale's going to make an early visit to us over here.
yeah, I think Travis enjoyed being with us last game. And he missed us.
We're so
he
glad
came
to have you
over.
back.
This is actually one of the places you're really loved, so feel free to come here anytime.
Walker into Robinson.
Robinson with the ball, letting Pitt get set by Kylie Grimes, but before she gets there, he goes ahead and calls inbounder.
The thing with Morale and Caldwell, if they end up in the box, we just know they're going to call inbounder. Either one of them can inbound, and there's really no point in the defense picking them up there. Morale looking for Medell, finds him. Medell's going to turn on the speed. Robinson closed the space, but Zach just a little too fast. Walker finds Steed.
Steed pushes to the middle. Following Kylie Grimes down the court.
Steed pressured at half court. That chair is getting really close
rid
over
of the ball. Over to Gavin Walker.
Back to Steed. Steed looking for the outside. Hands off to Stu Robinson for the try. 5-5, 5:22 left in the first. Both teams with all 4 timeouts. Ball's into Medell. Medell looking to build some speed.
34-31. He gets across. You have 12 seconds after the inbound to get across midcourt.
Great patience from Medell there at half court. Just waiting for a
Try by
spot.
Caldwell. You have 10 seconds to inbound. 12 seconds to get across midcourt. 40 seconds to score. Good to remind people of that.
Gavin Walker takes
Slapped away by Medell. Saved by Jamie Steed. 32-33. He gets across half court.
Beneficial bounce for GB there. Again, Zach Medell with the quick hands. Stu Robinson looking for help and gets it from Walker for the try.
Morale with the ball on the inbound, looking for someone. 10 seconds to inbound. He gets it into Medell. Medell goes long to Cody Caldwell. Lone wolf all by himself.
It was a great read by Caldwell there to see that his defender was underneath him and had acres of space. Steed working against Morale. Morale gets picked off by Walker. Steed and Morale. Again, Walker setting the pick for Steed. Now Robinson sets a pick for Steed.
Try for Steed. Tie game 7-7 at 4:11. And we want to remind everybody we have experienced a few issues with our network today. So if the live stream goes down or if you have some issues with buffering, don't worry, just be patient. We've got a crack team on top of this. We'll get a new live stream up and running as soon as possible. Just head back to our main YouTube page at youtube.com/Lakeshore Foundation, youtube.com/Lakeshore Foundation, and you'll find a new stream. We have technological wizards fixing all of our problems.
Melanie LaBelle got a contact warning. That's Canada's first.
Caldwell ahead to Medell. And the try for Medell. 8-7 Canada, 3:57 remaining in the first quarter.
Stu Robinson creating space for himself. Turns on the speed. And out pushes Caldwell around the corner there for the try.
Robinson with the try, 8-8.
I don't know if it's just being here, but I've watched a lot of international rugby. I don't think I've ever seen this many contact warnings over all the time. Yeah?
No.
All of them take.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, it seems like every game we've had both teams.
We have a timeout on the floor by Canada. Yeah, that's a. You know, I mean, I do know, having refed all the year, I do know that before tournaments, refs meet, refs talk about what you want to look for.
Right, something to focus on.
Kind of raise the consciousness, be aware of things. Now, who knows whether contacts were a hot topic, but I agree with you, Chris. There's been a lot of contact calls.
Every game, I think both teams have used their warnings and had players in the penalty box.
Yeah.
Medell attacking the key. Caldwell and Morale setting picks. And Medell.
With the try. Nicely pushed.
Walker
Ball
into
in.
Steed.
Steed with the ball. Pushed toward the middle, right in the middle of the court. Walker's ahead. He's not going to need him, though. You know, important concept in rugby, Chris, is don't pass unless you have to.
Yes.
Don't pass just because, I can pass. No.
All of us have issues with our hands that play this sport. So the more we can keep the ball in one person's hands and not have to pass, the better.
Jamie Stead called for a reach. Stead would proclaim he only got the ball.
Jamie was so excited to come and visit us, he wanted to sit in the box, Canada's box.
You know, everybody wants to sit with us, Chris.
They do. We are an exciting group.
Well, frankly, we're just so good looking.
I think that's what it is. 3:09 on the game clock, tie game at 9-9.
You are aware that the camera has not been on us a single time this
I'm very glad it has.
4 days. You do know that.
I didn't realize when I took my hat off earlier that I had such terrible hair. Gwen Debley
Medell with the ball.
took a picture for me, let me know.
Medell with the try. I think everybody would be surprised to know that you're not wearing a shirt.
Yes, yeah, I know. Yeah. It's about 12 degrees in the gym, so not wearing a shirt is always a good idea. Ball into Gavin Walker, back to Steed. And Walker.
It may be 12 inside, but it's 112 out.
It is. Medell, Morale, and Caldwell all recover.
Again, what a nice push.
Jamie Steed, one of those who just turns on the speed in the right times and finds space. Morale doing the same, finding some space. Stu Robinson let him know he was there, and again lets him know he's there. Back to Medell for the try.
With the try. You know, you look at GB not having Ayaz Buta here, and also with Jim Roberts having retired. There's guys and gals who haven't gotten a lot of attention in the past because they've had such dominant other players.
Right.
And somebody like Jamie Steed, you just kind of take him for granted.
Yeah.
And then you see him out here, and you realize what a solid player he is.
Right. You put him out there with like you say, Jim, and Jim Roberts just takes all the attention.
Yeah, you. 11-11, 2:04 left in the first quarter. Medill at 30 seconds, a timeout.
And Stu
Canada.
Robertson is a fairly new player as it comes to the amount of experience on GB. He did have the Paralympics
In 2020.
2020,
But
but
yeah,
he's fairly new in the consideration of the number of players that are here. So giving Steed and Kylie Grimes a chance to really show their stuff.
Well, the GB coach and I were talking before the game about what a great opportunity this tournament is, really for all three teams,
Right.
to integrate new players, to see some new faces.
Work new defenses, work new offenses, is game planning. Medill attacking the key again. Morale and Caldwell looking to make space. He takes on Gavin Walker.
Try for Medill. Yeah, it's not common in the sport to have this level of competition where you feel free to do those experiments
Test.
and to bring some different players and run some different lineups.
Just as we were talking about before, now GB has their contact warning.
Robinson with the ball. Over to Steed. Robinson really has had a solid tournament, hasn't he?
He has.
And Robinson with the try. 12-12 with 1:21. Right now the possession era is in Great Britain's favor, so they'll inbound to start the second quarter. Medill with the ball. Medill across half court. Approaches the try line and then turns away.
Clock management time.
Going to take a few seconds, take a few ticks off the clock. Managing the clock. He's trapped in the corner.
Stu Robinson
Ball
able to
slapped
knock it away from Medill.
Ball slapped away.
Oh, Morale takes it in the hand from Robinson as Robinson tips over.
Yeah, that wasn't pretty. And
Happened
that's no one's fault.
right in front
They
of
were
us.
all going for the ball.
Morale is trying
Morale
to
reached down for the ball right as Roberts went over, and his hand.
medical staff checking him out now. He's saying he's fine.
Well, that's what I would expect him to say. He does not want to come off that
No,
court.
he does not.
He does
Robinson
not want to come off that court.
is coming
Make
back
sure
up now.
that
Now we just need to
Stewart's
see
good.
what the call on possession was. It looks like we've called a turnover here. Reset on the no turnover, but we're resetting the 40.
So we I'm not sure why we reset the 40.
Not sure why we reset the 40 there either.
Bob, why did we reset the 40?
GB maintained possession. Unless they decided
no.
it was a change of possession there
Yeah,
with
but,
Canada.
let's be candid. There was no change of possession.
Well, Canada in the key anyway, and
Yep.
that's the call. Didn't make much of a difference on the reset of the 40, but
No, made no difference at all, but it's still interesting.
45
Caldwell
seconds.
inbounds. GB up 13-12.
Canada already used 2 timeouts, so they're probably not going to want to use another one here to try and score a last goal.
You would think not.
They're going to try and run it down
They'll
as
just
low
run
as
it down to 5
possible
or 6 seconds.
and
Or-
force
at least try to and then drop back.
21 seconds. Cody Caldwell, 13 seconds on the shot clock. Down to 10. Oh, and the worst possible time for Stu Robinson to reach. That gives Canada a reset on the shot clock and gives them the last 12 seconds to score last goal without having to worry about Stu Robinson playing defense or
So 4-on-3 with 12 seconds to
letting
go.
Great Britain have an option to score the last goal. Those are one of those things that coaches preach when
And-
they're trying to
and
run
you
the clock
cringe.
down.
You just cringe when it happens.
Do not reach.
Caldwell scores with
1.9
1.9 seconds left on the scoreboard. Gavin Walker to inbound. GB will just sit on it. So 13-13, Chris.
I'd like to say hello to my grandmother, Margaret Langley, who's watching rugby at home with my lovely wife. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes with the second quarter. Great job. Welcome back to Great Britain, Canada. You know something we didn't talk about, Gary, is
I thought we talked about everything.
we
Chris,
have
so
talked about
what
everything
did we miss?
at some point, but GB did not use any of their timeouts, and Canada used two. As we know, those sometimes add up to being points. So advantage GB.
A definite advantage to GB. They got the ball coming in. They haven't used a timeout. It's 13-13. First two times these teams met, Canada won the first match by 4.
Right.
Second match, GB won by 6.
Right. So it's a toss-up. What could happen, right? We never know.
Well,
we might as well.
we are. I mean, just let's reflect on how smart we are.
Yeah.
At the very beginning of this, we said
that no
we
team would
said-
go undefeated.
and no team would go winless. And we nailed that. Everybody's beaten
We nailed it.
everybody every time they've played. So
On the head.
yeah, so I have no idea who's going to pull this one out. I would think right now, at least the dynamics of it, slight advantage right now to GB.
Looks like we've got some subs here for Canada. Medell and Caldwell stay on. Samard on with Hirschfield.
Yeah, Trevor Hirschfield.
GB made some subs as well. Jamie Steed and Stu Robinson stay on. And we've
Nick
got
Cummins?
Nick Cummings and Josh Collette.
Except his name is Daniel Collette.
Dang it.
His name is Daniel Collette.
I'm
but you
sorry,
got the
Daniel.
Collette. Maybe his name is Daniel Joshua, you know?
Wow, what a play by Zach Medell there to catch enough of the back of Ryan
That's a turnover for GB.
of anyway, Canada ball into Samard. Samard and Hirschfield, the two low pointers, are playing ball carrier here. Gets it to Medell. Medell just gets across half.
Cross and to Caldwell for the try. Canada goes up 14-13.
That was a bold move by Medell half court.
Steed to the ball, pushes towards us.
Following Nick Cummings. Nick Cummings now out picking for Robinson.
22 seconds left on the shot clock, but he breaks into the clear for the try. 14-14, 7:01. Caldwell with the ball deep. Across the court to Medell. Medell is looking. Medell is looking.
Up to Samard.
Is Samard looking?
Oh,
And
that
Robinson
is a
had such a chance just to push to the ball,
tough
and he clipped
spin.
Samard from the rear as he went by him.
I'm
Clipped him and flipped him over.
that could have been called a flagrant. That's a spin at the.
You're right. right. Sometimes when it's about to be a clear goal,
That looked a little dangerous to me. If I was reffing, I may have called that a flagrant. But Jonathan Williams on top of it, he was right there.
well, you look at the position of the players, you look at the intensity of the hit. Did it look like an intentional? And it really
Right.
did look to me like it was more of a clip
Yeah.
than just I'm going to wipe him out.
At that speed, though, you've got to know that to control your chair and not hit
a high pointer and
a low pointer
and a
in
low
the
pointer.
in the back caster.
You got to back off.
Yeah. Either go for the ball, just don't hit the back caster like that. But either way, Robinson in the box for one here. Will score the goal eventually.
Liddell with the ball.
Score the try.
And he scores. Liddell with the try. 15-14. Canada.
Robinson
releases from the box to go
Forced
inbound.
to call inbound.
Ball into Steed. Pushes right up dead middle of the court. Over to Robinson.
That ball comes out of
Down
Robinson's
deep to Cummins.
hands so fast.
So fast. Cummins with the try.
Medell looking for space. Has both Steed and Robinson on him. Finds Caldwell.
Caldwell pushes towards the corner, turns, comes back out. Somebody's got a flat. See when they call it.
Must be an offensive player because they are not calling it. It was 8 White. I'm surprised he didn't call it. He was under the play. He had a chance to stop the play, get a reset there, but did not choose to. I'm trying to remember if we've seen these lines this weekend. It's 3-5, 2-5, 1-5, 0.5. It seems like to me that we haven't. As many switches as we've
I
had.
will say as many lines as we've seen. I'm not sure we've seen that one.
And both teams running that same point value right now. Wow.
Cody Caldwell called. It's hard to say. Of Canada. Caldwell in the box.
In the sin bin, if you will. Cummings looking for Robinson, finds Steed.
It's Steed. Easy try. Caldwell inbounding.
Caldwell up to
Long
Samard.
pass down to Samard. Nice play by Canada. So when Robinson gets back, Samard just hugging that ball. Loving on it, keeping it close.
Steed looked like he went up Zach Medell's wheel as they were both chumming down court.
Steed is on the floor.
Doing a few push-ups while he's down there. (16-16). We've got 5:33 left in the second quarter.
Lee Stutley out rescuing Steed. Lee has been in the sport longer than I've been in the sport, or as long, and is such a feature with GB Rugby.
She is a very loud presence on the GB bench. She can always be heard on the live stream and when I'm watching video at home. Steed fixing some strapping. Looks like he's ready to go. Hirschfield inbounding, looking for an option. Finds Samard.
Samard in the corner to Medell. Steed has him blocked, but he pivots on him, turns. Nothing in the corner, nothing in the corner. Samard trying to create an opening.
Medell looking for and
But
finds
back to
Samard.
Samard. Nice recognition.
This line puts a lot of trust on the 1-5s to have the ball in their hands a lot. Both these lines, the 1-5s have had the ball. Steed Up to Robinson.
Robinson with the try, 17-17 at 5:08.
Caldwell using Samard. Great communication between Caldwell and Samard there. You hear Caldwell telling Samard, stop, stop, stop. He stops, sets the pick. Beautiful. Nick Cummings. Give and go. Collette. Steed.
Nice pass. About half the length of the court.
Beautifully done by Steed
Nice
to Robinson.
accuracy, nice strength. Hirschfield with the inbound over to Caldwell.
Caldwell again following
he's trying
Samard. Hirschfield just running wide open. Nobody finds Hirschfield. Just sneaky down the sideline.
Does he become invisible at times?
I think he does.
Is
yeah.
that his superpower? He
Yeah.
has a cloak of invisibility. Because all of a sudden, nobody sees him and he's just there.
Right.
I mean,
Nick
we've
Cummings
seen that
again.
repeatedly this week.
Hirschfield gets just enough of the ball to bounce it off of Steve's hands, causing a turnover.
And we have subs. Who's out? Hirschfield
And Samard
and
have come
Lamont
out.
are out.
And LaBelle and Morale
Are back
in.
in.
Now
And
Jack
for
Smith
GB,
in with Phipps, Aaron Phipps.
Yep.
3.5, 0.5 for GB.
Phipps and Smith in.
A little more balance here for Canada.
Would that be a turnover to turnover?
How
There you go,
many
Chris.
times have we seen that this week? Just an unbelievable number of turnover to turnover.
So, I mean, explain that. Do teams get anxious? Do teams not take the second and catch their breath to
Sometimes
get reset?
that's what it is. That looked like a good, clean pass. It just got a little bit out of the reach of Morale. Heck of an inbound from a 0.5
Yeah.
out of that
That's
corner
nice.
to Robinson.
Phipps with the try. 19-19.
4:08 left in the second quarter.
They are just swapping blows right now. Nobody can pull away from each other.
Some good defense here.
He
10
called 10 seconds. 10
Seconds.
seconds. You have that long to inbound. Did Canada, 1, did not get it in. 2, did not call a timeout.
That was some great defense there. Robinson and Phipps working together just to deny right at the 3-point line. And Jack Smith just holding up LaBelle in the middle of the court. This 0.5 has got some range on his inbound. Look at this.
Look at that. He's a 0.5, but Smith.
Jack, the other
Huge,
0.5 picks up the inbound.
Huge play for GB. Ball was on the floor, but Smith saved it.
And Phipps finds a hole.
And Phipps finds the hole.
Unbelievable. That's Jeff Butler worthy right there.
That's a great inbound.
Caldwell looking for Morale. Big hit from Robinson. Short pass up to Medell. Phipps trying to cover Medell, and Medell
So
just
2020, Canada ties it back up.
Collette calls inbound here. I guess Canada knows they've got a little bit more court to cover with 0.5 inbounding than expected.
Yeah, it stretches the court out a little bit, doesn't it, Chris?
Phipps following Collette. Phipps across half.
Phipps to Robinson. Batted away by Medell.
Medell says, no,
No.
not in my house.
Yeah.
Surprised he didn't give him the Mutombo finger wag on that one. Again, we've talked about this all week. Medell's hands and quickness around those passes have just been amazing. And now another great inbound from a low pointer.
Bump pass all the way across the court. To Robinson, keeps the ball. 17 seconds on the shot clock. 14 on the shot clock.
Time running short. Robinson looking for a
They've got
spot.
all 4 timeouts.
Phipps is in there.
And he wiggles through that hole.
Just enough
He
not to
just
catch the
got
cone.
through. Collette held that opening just enough. That
Medell,
would be Daniel Collette.
Daniel Collette, not Josh.
Josh is his twin brother.
Caldwell patiently waiting for LaBelle.
21-20, GB.
Finds Morale.
Possession error toward Medell with the ball.
GB drops into the key here. Medell coming all the way around to guess who? LaBelle's side, where she sets the pick. Daniel Collette into Aaron Phipps. Phipps following Collette. Collette got a piece of Morale and Medell there to set Phipps free. Phipps for the try.
So 22-21, GB, 2:17 left in the half. Caldwell on the inbound. Long pass to Medell, and he'll go by himself, untouched. Length of the court. Try for Medell. 22-22 at 2:12 in the second period. A lot of twos up.
Aaron Phipps back picking LaBelle. Now comes down.
Collette on the inbound. Over to
Gets to
Phipps.
Phipps.
Ball loose. Robinson picks it up. Phipps. 32.
Short on time.
Across the timeline.
Good timeout there by Stu Robinson. Zach got the stop, and then
Timeout by GB. That's their first.
Caldwell set a huge hit on Robinson to push him out of bounds there.
Canada has 2 fans here, and they're very excitable. If you heard,
Three.
they have 3 fans. 3 fans. I'm so sorry. I underestimated the Canadian support.
The full
I
the full
underestimated the
Devley
Canadian
family here.
support.
The
But-
Devley support.
They're exuberant.
Robinson attacking the Canadian key. Phipps is in. Collette sets a nice pick to set Robinson in. 1:43 left in the quarter.
Ball into Caldwell.
Working with Samard on the sideline. Jack. Samard.
And
Wow, what a reception
Samard
for
saw
Samard.
it. Robinson
Now under
and
pressure.
Phipps on Samard, and
Phipps with
Phipps
the.
obviously pushed about
Reaching.
15 feet to reach.
Yes,
He just drove right in for it, man.
Well, you know, sometimes as a high pointer, you see a low pointer with a ball and you think, oh, my hands are
sure.
faster than him.
Oh,
he won't
sure.
protect it as well. And
Oh, sure.
man, I tell you,
It's like,
Samard.
it's like the wild dogs of Africa with a downed wildebeest, man.
Samard
you
is
see
one
it
of
and
the-
you just go for it.
Samard is one of the best at it. I've seen him, you know, for Canada be across half court and protect the ball from some of the best reachers in the league.
Minute 12, 22 seconds on the shot clock.
Samard and Hirschfield set up in front of the penalty box to trap Phipps. That's the problem with this 3-5, 3-5, 0.5 line. If one of the 3-5s get trapped in the box and have to call inbound, it can be very difficult to get the ball in.
You have some limited options at that point, don't you, Chris? So he calls inbound.
And Phipps has called inbounder, but Coach Paul Shaw, seeing the problem, uses his bench timeout
He calls a bench.
and has subs in the box.
I know we've said very little about the coaches, but Paul Shaw is brilliant, kind, gracious.
I tell you, you know, we talked about it the first day a bit, that the turnaround from the first game when Great Britain just really didn't look good, and they have just looked better and better every game.
They
And
have improved.
that
every game
comes
they've
down to
been out
coaching.
there.
That comes down to coaching.
Sure.
Here comes Robinson. We've got Steed and Gavin Walker back on the court with Kylie Grimes. Robinson patiently looking for space. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Actually, we're down to 15.
What about a 11-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock?
Game clock at 17. 5 on the shot.
And GB takes the timeout to get the last score.
That's Great Britain's second timeout. So both teams have used 2 floor timeouts. GB used one of their bench. Canada has both of their bench timeouts left. Ball into Stu Robinson. Expect him to score. Try and score with as little time on the clock as possible. Robinson finds Walker.
Walker over to Seed. So penalty try.
Looked like Samard was pushed
He
out.
got pushed out, but 1.3 seconds. Ball in. So we'll end this first half of rugby. Excellent rugby by both teams. 24-23 GB. It will be Canada's ball coming back in.
We'll have an exciting second half for you when we come back. See you soon. Welcome back to Tri-Nations here in Lakeshore, Alabama. We've got a tight one between GB and Canada. Both teams have used 2 timeouts, and it's only a 1-point game. So we're going to have an exciting second half. We've got about 2 minutes until we jump back in to the second half here. Possession arrow in favor of Team Canada.
Did Medill play the entire? Did he sit at all?
I don't think so. I think we saw
My
him.
recollection,
Yeah,
he's out there the whole time.
we
Now,
saw him with Samard and Hirschfield, and then Caldwell and Morale.
Now we have seen Canada sit him at times, like for an entire quarter.
Yes,
there's been
yeah,
a couple
earlier
of
in the
games
week.
He never played like in the fourth quarter or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be curious in this important match
Yeah, so
to determine who's advancing.
we did say that if Canada wins, they will advance themselves straight into the championship game. So if they've decided they want to be straight in the championship game, that's what they may do. They may try and win this game. I mean, you're always trying to win, but
Well, I was going to say though, but there is a strategy of.
right.
And
We've heard from
I'm not saying that nobody's not trying to win.
we've heard from some of the other coaches that they don't mind being in that third place, second place game, that play-in game,
because it gives them an extra game to play.
extra opportunity.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So we're back with Robinson, Steed, Walker, and Kylie Grimes for GB. And
Canada
then
will inbound.
Samard, Caldwell, still Medill on the court.
Still Medill.
Hey, we are on camera. Say hi to everybody there, Judge. Ball's in. Medill advancing. Attacking the GB key. Samard in. Nice and easy and untouched. Everybody was
24,
concerned.
24.
Everybody was concerned with what Medill was doing and forgot about
there
Samard.
was Samard. There he sat.
Gavin Walker into Robinson. Robinson following Grimes, and now Walker.
Steed is all by himself.
Stayed wide. He used Trevor Hirschfield's invisibility cloak to get over there by himself. Medill deep in the corner with that one, but finds his way out. Dangerous bounce, but recovered. Medill around Walker and through
For the
Steed.
try. 25 up. 7:22. Third quarter. Each team has 2 timeouts left. GB in white. Canada in red.
Jamie Steed in a dangerous spot. Still able to find Robinson. Now Walker. Walker back to Robinson. Good there by GB. Under a lot of pressure. Still able to make some clean passes.
GB up by 1. Canada inbounds. Medill with the ball. Starting to look for openings. Looking for his picks.
Tight
Robinson
defense
doing
from
a good
Robinson.
job of shadowing him. Ball into Caldwell.
Down to 20 seconds on the shot clock. Medill beats Walker around the outside for the try.
26-26.
Just trading blows here. No turnovers. Steed. Under pressure from Hirschfield.
Caldwell swipes at the ball, misses it. Feed across the timeline to the corner.
Samard catches up to him.
Nice pass over to Robinson for the try.
We've
27-26.
talked a lot about how quick Zach Medell's hands were. Steed with a great pass over the top of Medell to Robinson there.
Hirschfield over the inbound to Samard.
Give and go.
Over to Caldwell, back to Medill. 36 on the shot clock. Long pass to Samard for the try. 27-27.
Steed covered by Caldwell. Walker helping Steed advance. Whoa, big pressure from Medell in the back of Robinson. Steed crossed the line just in time.
But Steed kind of took control of that play.
He did. Quick one up to Caldwell.
Quick score, 28-28.
5:52 in the third. Robinson with Medell on him. Gavin Walker sets a great pick on Medell, and Robinson just blitzes. GB running the deny defense here with Steed on Caldwell and Robinson on Medell. Caldwell looking for space, finds Medell. Hirschfield sets a pick on Robinson to set Medell free. Medell against Gavin Walker. Gavin Walker just going to let him slide by. Canada dropping into the key here. Canada hasn't had much success on defense. I mean, they played well on defense this start of this quarter, but Great Britain hasn't been under a lot of pressure, so they're trying to switch it up, dropping the key here.
Looking for that elusive turnover.
Robinson.
Back to Steed in the key. We have.
Looks like a 4 in the key call against Simard.
4 in the key. People have no idea what we're talking about. So you can only have 3 defenders in the key area. When the 4th player goes in, no matter how inadvertent it may be, if you have the 4th defensive player in the key area.
That black box there with the post in front of the try line there is the key. And only 3 defensive players allowed in there at one time. So that would reset the shot clock, gave GB easy goal.
30-29. Caldwell with the
Hirschfield.
ball. Ahead to Medell. Walker turns him. But Medell across easily.
Up to Medell, up to Caldwell.
Jamie putting good pressure on him right now.
Jamie Steed with just a little bit more turning ability than Caldwell is able to cover him one-on-one. But Caldwell sets a great pick on Steed there to set Medell free. Medell backs in around Grimes with a pick from Simard.
Does nice work backing up, doesn't he?
Forward or backwards, as long as you cross that line.
Just you cross it, man.
It's a goal. Try. Robinson untouched.
Link to the floor. Try for Robinson. 31-30. 4:06 to go in the third quarter. Nobody can pull away. They can't shake each other. And it's been fairly flawless ball this quarter.
It has.
It has. Just both teams kind of doing what they want to do, but there's the ball. Medell did not see it, but then he picks it up. And he calls a timeout right before he goes out of bounds.
The ball had actually bounced off of Steed's chair. Medell picked it up because I don't think he knew who it went off of.
But he knew the ball was there. No.
Used the timeout anyway.
Yeah.
He would have got the ball back, but smartly used the timeout. That leaves Canada with 1.
So some subs for GB.
Aaron Phipps back in and Ryan Cowling.
Cowling and Phipps in.
They're running the 3-5, 3-5.5.5 now. Medell finds Simard.
Simard for the try. 31-31, 3:38 in the third quarter.
Phipps on top of Medell. Phipps just going to turn on the burners. It's been said that Phipps is probably one of the fastest end-to-end players. Medell looks for Hirschfield. And now Medell trying to race Phipps on the other end.
Nice push by both. Medell in the corner, though.
Backs out of there. With a little help from Samard.
Pivots and turns. Hirschfield going over to seal the corner.
4 in the key is the call.
And there was a breach.
I think the call's 4 in the key on Ryan Cowling was the
Cowling.
last one in.
The last player in is the one the penalty's called on.
Right, because there's 3 in there, then they're allowed. The last player to go in
The
there
last
is
one in.
the illegal one.
He's the offender.
37 seconds, plenty of time for Medell to set up his defense here.
Medell with the try, 32-32 at 2:52 in the third quarter. Cowling calls inbounder. Cowling with the ball. Over to
Up
Phipps.
to Phipps.
Phipps
Phipps
looking
finds
for an
Cowling.
opening. Follows Cowling up the court to Robinson for the try. 33-32. A little under 3 minutes to go.
Hirschfield looking for someone. Medell to the outside. Medell was facing the complete other direction and somehow turned around and got that one. Samard in the corner with Hirschfield again. Phipps turning around to follow Cowling. Robinson came in and just cracked Zach Medell just enough to give Phipps enough space to score that try.
Created the space. We have a contact call on
Ryan Cowling.
Ryan Cowling.
I was able to talk to our head official during the break about the number of contacts calls we've been seeing. He did say that a lot of these refs referee in the U.S. where the league has a no contact before the whistle call. So we're allowed to make contact anytime we want before the whistle. Doesn't matter. So he did emphasize it with these referees.
Exactly what I've assumed, that perhaps it had been discussed because they don't see it.
Right. So we may be seeing a few more contact before the whistle calls than we're used to, but these guys are watching it very closely because they've been asked to. 2 minutes left in the third quarter, 34-34.
Cowling with the inbound. Looking for Phipps or Robinson. Over to Robinson, who's in the corner.
Medell on top of Phipps. Medell going to pressure
Pushes
Phipps
ahead to
right at
Phipps,
half court.
Almost to half court.
Some
he
great
sees-
chair control from Phipps there.
Yeah. He
With Medell
he
pushing
was
you
pretty
around.
close, man.
With Medell pushing you around at half court, that's a dangerous spot to be in.
So you're watching your chair, you're trying to find somebody to pass to, you're controlling the ball.
It's
Nice
one
play.
of those moments that communication really comes in.
Couple of great hits on Caldwell, but he manages to control the ball, pass it off to Medell for the try. 35-35, a minute 31. Phipps pushing.
Phipps gets across half.
Still
Comes
has the
around.
ball. 29
Robinson.
seconds left on the shot clock.
Do a little clock management here.
Taking a few ticks here. Running it down. They'll
So
now
what-
try to score in the next few seconds. Passes over to Robinson for the try at a minute and 2, 36-35. And it will be GB's ball coming in.
Curious to see what Canada does with the clock here. Zach's going to run it down to probably 5-0. 54, 53.
53, pretty much what they wanted to do. 36-36. So barring a blip, Canada will get the ball back.
Robinson advancing pretty much untouched. He back picks Hirschfield there. Looks like GB going to be happy to run the clock down as far as they can. They still have the possibility of taking a timeout to score last goal. And it looks like they're going to use the timeout.
They are going to do the timeout. That's exactly what they did. They felt like they had one to use at that moment.
Which leaves both teams with one now.
So GB gambling the timeout on the last goal to be able to go in up by one and then get the ball to start the fourth quarter.
When you have the possession arrow of the next quarter, that last goal can be really important, that 2-goal swing. Big hit from Phipps. Kylie Grimes seals the corner for
Almost
Robinson.
Don't want to score too early, though.
Gave Canada 7 seconds. I've seen him do it.
Can score. Oh, yeah, sure. Sure. So we'll see how GB plays it. Obviously, in Medell's hands.
4,
They need
3,
to slow him down.
2.
They need to slow somebody down. 1.
Just enough of a clip there from Robinson.
About one push away from doing it.
Man,
So, GB strategy worked.
it worked out for them, yes.
They kept Canada from getting that last.
And they
try.
will have possession arrow.
So 37-36. GB up by 1 with the possession arrow in its favor. So their chance to go up by 2 is what they're going for.
Well, we'll take a short break. We'll see you in about 2.5 minutes.
We're back live. Fourth period about to start. 37-36.
We got a barn
Britain.
burner, folks.
Great Britain's ball coming in.
All right,
Gavin
Gary.
Walker looking good as always.
We need it's prediction time. Who's winning this game?
Jonathan Williams looking good as always.
Jonathan Williams is going to win the game. Man, I didn't even know he was scoring.
Ball in. Stuart Robinson with the ball.
All right, before we get too far into it, prediction. Who's got it, Gary? Give me a call.
GB.
GB wins. All right. I guess I'll take Canada then,
Okay.
since they're the only other choice. Robinson looking for space. Jamie Steed coming out to help him. Kylie Grimes sets the pick
Ball
for
over
Gavin
to
Walker in the corner.
38-36. GB capitalizes on that first possession to go up by 2.
Just because we said we haven't seen Zach come off the court, fourth quarter, it's Lavoie and Debley.
So Medell is off the court, which had something to do with my prediction.
Ball's up to
Ball
Lavoie.
ahead to Lavoie.
looking for help, finds
Over to Debley.
Hirschfield
For the
seals the
try.
corner. 37-38, 7-11.
Each team has one floor timeout left. Canada has both bench timeouts. Robinson with the try, 39-37.
Canada just doesn't have the speed right now to match up with Robinson. They're going to have to play a tight contain against Robinson. And trust their pick and rolls like that on offense.
Debley with the ball, across in time to Samard.
Samard handing the ball to
Lavoie.
Lavoie.
With the ball,
Steed.
stripped away by Steed. It's rolling. Steed picks it up. Ahead to Robinson. GB's about to be up by 3. 40-37. Nice strip by Steed.
I think Coach for Canada has seen enough here. He's ready to get Caldwell and Mendel back in the game. Ball into Lavoie.
Ball into Lavoie. Ahead
Nice
to
pass up to
Debley.
Debley.
Debley with a great push.
Look at Gavin Walker flying. Man, he is fast.
Walker and Robinson, I'm not sure where their speed
Lord.
came from.
And Jamie Steed, too. I mean, you got three guys out there who can really fly.
And you're right. Your comment a moment ago about Canada doesn't match up as well as it should on the speed issue right now.
Right.
GB's quicker.
And Coach Cote for Canada saw that right away. We've got Medell, Samard, and Caldwell in the sub box.
You know, I made the comment about Paul Shaw. Patrick has done such a good job transitioning this Canadian team. He and Dave Wiltsey.
The legendary Dave Wilsey.
So,
Debley with great patience to find Lavoie.
well, when you think of some of the astonishingly good Canadian players who have retired in the last 2 or 3 years, Garrett and then Whitehead and Dave.
Yes. Yeah.
The folks who were just
Has Whitehead officially retired? Is that the word? He's
don't
not
know.
here. I don't
know.
We haven't heard an
And
official retirement
he
announcement.
He coached the Low Point team
Right.
at the World Games last week.
I would not be surprised if we don't see Mike Whitehead back in a Maple Leaf uniform.
So, yes, that was my assumption, and it may be so in the ditch. But, needless to say, he's not here today.
Right.
And, again, the transitioning in the team and the new composition.
Right. As
So, a
the
real challenge to keep a team that's been at the very top of its game, to transition in new players and to maintain that position.
right. Yeah. Dave and Pat have done a great job. They were trying to sub there on an equipment, but they used a bench timeout to get Zach and Cody and Samard back on.
So they did take a bench.
They did.
That's what I thought.
Hirschfield sealing Robinson,
Medell with the
Caldwell.
ball into Caldwell for the try. 41-39. 41-39.
Now the speed matchup is very similar with Medell and Robinson. Caldwell covering Gavin Walker, but Robinson still able to find some space.
Robinson with the try. 42-39. Yeah, it's there's not the disparity that we had just a moment ago.
Caldwell trapped in the corner.
Caldwell in the corner.
Uses
Pushes up.
Samard, really.
Did a nice pick.
Samard sealed both Steed and Grimes.
He took out 2 players, didn't he?
And then transitioned and let Robinson know he's there.
Walker with the inbound to Robinson, right in the middle of the court. Pushes to the side. Caldwell clips. Back to Walker for the try. 43-40 and an equipment timeout.
Another
flat.
we've talked about that a lot this weekend. Offensive players having flat tires and not calling the equipment when their teammates advancing to score.
The ball was 20 feet down the court when it happened, and he sat there.
We saw a mistake in one of the GB games where they called an equipment on defense when they had the player stopped. But most of the time, these players have been real smart about that. 3-point lead for GB with 5:08.
Ball into Caldwell. Over to Bedell.
Bedell waiting for Caldwell. Caldwell catches up.
So patient.
Some of the turns that these guys make under contact is just so impressive.
Well, it reminds me of you, Chris.
I wish that were true.
It does remind me of you.
I wish that were true. Big pressure from Bedell. Steed finds Walker from behind Hirschfield.
I hate those behind taps like that when somebody's ahead. And
Yeah.
it's
Hirschfield
kind of like
is
knocking on the door. It's just kind of letting you know they're there. But
Hirschfield is famous for that, that's for sure. Caldwell with a big, strong push against Steed. Steed able to get there, but Caldwell with a beautiful cutback for the try. Steed couldn't have played that any better. Caldwell just made a great play. Robinson putting on the speed.
ahead to
Steed.
Steed. Try by Steed, 45-42, 4 minutes, 17 seconds. Canada's about to need a little magic here. They need a turnover. They need to score, get a turnover, get it back down to 1 or 2.
Having trouble getting the ball in here. Finally
And
gets it to
there's
Bedell.
Savard all the way
This
down, but
may be
Gavin
a
Walker's going to cut that
turnover.
off. Walker with the turnover. Has the ball in backcourt.
This may be the dagger
Kylie
that
Grimes
seals it
sets
for GB
Nice
here.
pick. Robinson with the ball. 28 seconds on the shot clock.
Robinson finds space around
With the
Samard.
try. 46-42, up to 4.
So if GB ends up pulling this out, we're right back where we were this morning. Anybody's opportunity to get in the championship game. Caldwell using Samard. Caldwell pushes for the try.
Caldwell with the try. 46-43, under 4 minutes.
Canada going to be desperate to get one here. Steed.
And we got a reach called.
That's
Caldwell trying to get a turnover in the backcourt, trying to make something happen. Change the dynamic.
Caldwell says there was clearing. Looked like he could have gone either way. I'd have called a jump ball there for you, Cody. But I'm not a referee. GB gonna take some ticks
Steed.
here.
With the push.
I'm a player that's in favor of the reach, Cody. Gavin Walker forcing
Caldwell with the
Caldwell to
inbound. Steed with the try. 47-43 at 3:13. 3:13 left in the fourth quarter, left in the game. Little bobble at the line, but Caldwell recovers it. Out to Bedell. Bedell ahead to Savard. You know, Canada does the best job of it. They always have the best job of using those low pointers.
Right.
And that's what Hirschfield or Samard.
I really wish a lot more teams had more trust in their low pointers, man, because they can do some amazing things.
But let's also recognize not everybody has low pointers of that quality.
With that quality and that skill,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. Robinson using
With the
Walker.
try. Gavin Walker sealed off that corner over there. But, you know, the point is if you've got low pointers of that quality, then use them like that.
Yes.
And that's exactly what Canada does a great job of doing. Bedell with the ball. Pushes
With a-
length of the court all by himself.
Heck of a wheel race there with Robinson. Looks like Canada is using a bench timeout. That's their first
So
one?
they are out of bench timeouts.
Oh, that's all. Okay.
That's their second one.
Oh, yeah, they used one to get the subs in.
Yep.
Just recently.
So each team's got one floor timeout left, and GB still got a bench. 2 minutes, 24 seconds. 48-45. Possession era is Canada's.
Still a very winnable game. You know, a little mistake here, and Canada can be in this game. Canada's bench trying to get them fired up for some strong defense here to cause a turnover.
Well, they're trying to get the Canadian fans back in the game.
These three Canadian fans over here are the heart and soul.
I think they're doing the wave, Chris.
Hirschfield trying to make something happen down here against Steed. Gets caught by Kearns. That'll make things quite a bit easier for GB here.
But it is the point for Canada. Canada trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
Need a little bit of change in the dynamic. You sure can't fault them for that.
So GB's going to probably use all the 40 here. No, Stu Robinson goes ahead and scores
He goes ahead and scores.
Makes sense. He's there. Can't take the points off the board.
49-45. GB with a little over 2 minutes left to go here in the game.
Hirschfield into Caldwell. Caldwell quickly
Long
up
pass
to Medell.
ahead to Medell
Wow.
for the try. Picks it up right at the try line. Right on him, man.
Man, that's knowing your player's speed
Sure.
and ability. Because Jamie Steed's fast, but Zach Medell just a bit faster. Caldwell and Medell communicating the whole way about defense. The switch onto Steed.
Steed with the try. Under 2 minutes. GB up by 4, 50-46, minute 49.
Think it may be a little bit too far out of reach now.
So do you want to change your prediction?
I mean, if
Or
you're going
are
to
you
let
gonna
me,
stick with it?
I'm sticking. It doesn't look like Canada's going to win, but I'm going to ride the horse to the end of the game like I should.
Medell with the try.
We have seen crazier things.
We certainly have seen crazier things.
4 points in a minute 40.
Oh, yeah.
Not impossible. Unlikely.
Not common, but
Unlikely.
not impossible. Sure.
Robinson finds Grimes. Grimes with a great pick on Medell.
Okay. Start thinking of your player of the game now. I know who mine would be for GB.
I do too. Jamie Steed.
Interesting. No, that's not where I was
That's
going.
not where
I
you're
was
going?
going for Chris Hall. I was going for Chris Hall, player of the game. And a real surprise. No, he's had a magnificent game, hasn't he?
He has.
Hadn't
he
he?
has.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of teams, especially with players like Robinson out there, they go, okay, let's force the ball into Steed and make him make decisions, and he's done well with it.
He's done
this game.
extremely well. We've got the score is 51-48. We have a call.
It looks like he didn't let the
He did
inbounder
not
on the
let
court.
you've got to let the inbounder on the court.
There is a meter rule in rugby. When you're inbounding on the sideline or baseline, you have to give the player enough room to get their entire chair
You got to be
onto
able to
the
get on the
court.
court.
And Smart was
51-48.
just a bit too
minute
close.
20. Okay, so we agree on Jamie Steed. How about Canada?
Samard,
How about Samard?
Yeah.
Sitting right there in front of
player
us.
of the game,
We
Patrick
talked
Smart.
about him, about all he had done
Right.
as the low pointer.
Scored a lot, held the ball a lot, protected the ball
And
against
a
some
lot
very
of-
vicious
and, yes,
reaches.
and a lot of minutes on the court, too.
Yep.
You know?
And one of the guys who's been with Team Canada since 2004
That's not possible.
Paralympics.
That's not possible. But it is, yeah. If you look at him, he obviously began playing when he was 7 years old.
Right.
53 seconds to go. Canada down by 3. Gavin Walker with the inbound to Kylie Grimes. Kylie Grimes right back to Gavin Walker, over to Jamie Steed. Steed right in the middle of the court. Pushes, trying to follow Gavin Walker up the court. 29 seconds on the shot clock. No reason to slow it down. He just simply scores. Try for Steed. 53-49. 38 seconds left in the game.
Another good game that kind of just got away in the fourth quarter. We've had quite a few of those this week. We've talked about it a lot. We know that there's a lot of games, and the coaches wanting to get experience for their other lines. But
we have a call or something. I'm sorry.
contact before the whistle, warning. First one and oh no, that's their second one.
That's
So
their second
Kylie
one.
Grimes will go to the box.
Don't you love Kylie Grimes chewing gum?
Yes.
She is always just.
Oh, that is their first warning. So nobody in the box.
Okay. Well, she thought she was in the box.
So did me.
So she came over here.
But obviously, the decision by Canada there to take Medell out for those few minutes
Yeah.
really made the difference in this game. You know,
That's really the swing in the game.
Yeah.
About that first 2.5 minutes of this quarter.
12 seconds. GB doesn't need
GB
to
with the
score.
ball.
Steed under pressure.
53-51.
He's going to go ahead and use his last
Yeah,
timeout.
well, you know, stranger things have happened other than flipping the ball, catching it, doing it again.
Right.
That actually, even though there's under 3 seconds, that was a smart call.
When you've got it, you can't take it home with you.
Take the timeout, let the ticks happen. What a nice game. Amazing game. Now, Chris, let's talk about what we're going to see tonight. We've got Great Britain and the United States at 7 o'clock.
Right.
Is that correct? Now, if I understand this correctly, we still don't know who's in the championship game. I'm going to make a prediction on this. I think it's going to be GB is in the championship game.
Okay.
Canada and USA in the play-in game because of this.
Right.
Obviously, if GB wins,
The score differential, right?
well, no, I'm saying if they win, then they've got 2 wins today. That puts them in
Directly
just a number
in,
of wins. But the point differential is so great right now. I believe, and I may be off on this, but I think
No, you're
USA would have to beat GB by something like 22 points
That's right.
tonight for this not to happen.
I don't think USA will mind playing an extra game.
No, absolutely not. I don't think anybody would. So it was interesting. I was talking with Paul from GB, and he said to me, you do have this idea of playing the extra games. He said, but I will tell you, we're going into this game to win. We're going into USA to win, and we want to be in that championship game and not have to play in.
Excellent.
He said, and that's what I've told everybody.
Well,
If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But what we'd like to do is let's get the wins.
we will see what happens tonight with GB USA. We will see you back here at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Chris,
Have
you're
a great
magnificent.
afternoon.
You're
You are
magnificent. Wonderful to work with you, man.
Couldn't do it without you. Thank you, Judge.